Are you left-handed?
I am.
Because I'm left-handed as well. Will you try to shake my hand with your left hand? Wait, does it feel...
It feels strange because nobody does it, but it's good for me.
We've been conditioned not to
exactly.
shake our hand this way.
That was probably the first sip of beer I ever had. Can't remember, won't say how old I was.
I was going to say, do you know, you were 21 and it was great.
Yeah, exactly. I loved it.
It was awesome. You're playing shows bigger now than the entire population, I feel like, of the city that you're from.
That's true. Yeah.
So
Some of them. That is kind of funny. I'd never thought about that before.
'Cause it sounds like the radio. In 94, you know, hook a speaker up to my soul. It sounds like the radio.
Zach Top, welcome to the Spout Podcast. How are we doing today, man?
Just wonderful. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah, of course. So you're not from too far away from here, right?
No, not far at all. I grew up in Sunnyside, Washington. I think it's 3.5-ish, maybe 4 hours or something away.
Yeah.
And had a bunch of cousins, aunts, and uncles and stuff that lived in Salem. So spent a lot of time down here in the area.
So Sunnyside, what, 16,000 people or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, is it that big now?
Yeah, is it, so it's growing? It's growing. But
I guess so.
What was it like growing up there, and what's that like? Because I was born in Seattle, so when I think of Washington, I think of big cities. I think of the big city life. That's not the case.
Let alone
with
big
Sunnyside.
old green trees and stuff and rain.
Exactly.
And we didn't get none of that.
So what was the life like in Sunnyside for you growing up?
Smells like a dairy.
Great farmland.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a dairy farm town. A whole bunch of Dutch dairy farmers all around there. Bunch of orchards, we kind of grew up with, I wouldn't say working in the livestock industry. My dad did. We had a little hobby farm. We had some animals around, horses, cows, chickens, goats, stuff like that. So we grew up, kind of pretty somewhat quintessential country lifestyle, I guess, and I like to say I spent enough time on the back of a horse looking at a cow's ass that I can wear the cowboy hat on stage without feeling like a poser.
You're not faking it.
No, exactly. I got it before I moved to Nashville anyway. But yeah, that was kind of it, man. We were homeschooled, all four of us kids, and we would get our schoolwork done as fast as we could, and Mom would turn us loose and say, "Don't come back till it's dark, or you hear the dinner bell." I think she was tired of us at that point, because she was the one teaching us. But anyways, yeah, we just get turned loose. We had like 40 acres down there or something. We go, create our own little world out there, play around with horses and whatever, build forts, all kind of kid stuff.
So I spent most of my life growing up in Reno, Nevada, and
there you go. We were just there a minute ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, last weekend.
Oh, great. So every summer they've got the Reno Rodeo there. So I grew up going to that every year, which was great and fun. Did you ever participate in rodeo type stuff or attend?
Oh yeah, attended a lot.
Yeah.
As a kid, I wanted to be a cowboy. Grew up around a bunch of cowboys just through my dad's work and whatnot, and wanted to be one, and realized pretty early on I wasn't very good at it, and so I figured I'll just sing about them anyway.
Did you have any specific bad experiences that made you realize the cowboy life wasn't for you?
No, not bad experiences. I just wasn't good at it.
Yeah.
Just I can hang on the back of a horse. It don't look pretty, but I can stay on, and I can catch a dummy, 8 out of 10 times, but that's a lot harder once they start letting them run away from you. And yeah, so, just wasn't very good at it, and turned out to be okay at playing and singing.
So where do you fall in line with your siblings? There's 4 of you in total?
Yeah, I'm second youngest, so I got a little brother and then 2 older sisters.
And you guys went off, you made Top String, right?
Yeah, Top String.
Name of a bluegrass band that you guys had going?
Yeah.
Oh, how I miss her warm and touching ways. And someday I hope she wanna go.
So where did the music side kick off in the family to where it led to your siblings and you kicking off a project?
Yeah, that's a good question. Neither of my parents are musical. We didn't get it from them. They played a bunch of good music for us, on the radio and whatnot. Kind of, I guess you could say, curated our taste well. But no, neither of them played anything. My oldest sister is a good bit. She's 7 years, I think, 7 or 8 years older than I am. And she was a really good classically trained pianist. And so she was kind of the first, and when the rest of us kids, so my other sister's 1.5 years older than me and brother's 1.5 years younger, so we were all pretty close. When we started getting to be, 3, 4 years old or something, my mom had my oldest sister, Lakin, start teaching the rest of us piano. And so that was kind of the first thing. I didn't have much interest in that, though. I didn't really wasn't turned on by Chopin or Bach or anything like that. So I wanted, if somebody could have taught me to play like Pig Robbins, maybe I would have been excited about it. But they weren't doing that, so I wanted to play guitar. I loved George Strait was kind of probably my parents' favorite, and that's what I remember hearing around the house a lot.
Amarillo by morning, up from San Antonio.
Bunch of Marty Robbins too, really just a bunch of old cowboy songs.
Out through the back door of roses I read, out where the horses were tied.
Like I said, I couldn't be a cowboy, so I wanted to sing about them anyway. And so that was kind of the stuff that I was into. And so they got me a guitar, I think when I was 3 or something for Christmas, and then put me in lessons for the first time for guitar right about the time I turned 5. My sister Maddie, she's the younger sister that's still older than me. She started playing fiddle about the same time, and then shortly after, Joram, the little brother, and then Lakin, the oldest sister, Joram picked up mandolin, and Lakin played bass. So we had this little 4-piece band, and we didn't go into it thinking we were going to be a band. We were all just kind of doing our own thing, learning what we were learning independently of one another. And then I think it was 7. I was 7 when we played our first show, and that was just a family friend who's like on the Rotary Club in Sunnyside and all this kind of thing. He called my dad and was like, "John, we'd like the kids. We hear the kids been playing some music and want to know if they'd be willing to open our show." They were doing a Patsy Cline musical down at the local high school. And I don't remember this myself, but I've been told the story enough times that I can recount what happened, I guess. My dad told Randy, he's like, "No, man, I can't answer for them. You're going to have to talk to them." So he put me on the phone, and Randy asked me, "Zach, would you like to open our show?" And I said, "Well, sure, Randy, when is it?" And he was like, "Well, it's in a couple months." And I said, "Well, perfect. By then we'll know some songs and we'll be ready."
We'll have some music created.
Yeah. Whatever unwarranted confidence I had built up there, I don't know why, because we weren't a band at that point. It was like that was when we were like, okay, I guess we need to learn how to be a band, not just play a bunch of songs on our own. So
You got bit by the bug. And,
yeah.
And ever since then, and I know for a while it seems like bluegrass was a big direction of you, because then you had Modern Tradition. That was another band that you were a part of.
Yeah, I'm gone like it ain't no thing.
I think you actually started working with Carson while you were a part of that project.
Still during that,
Yeah, so
and even before that, I'd played with, once the Top String went for like 10 years, we played our last show when I was 17, I guess, and then everybody started going off to college and spreading out, and it just wasn't.
Yeah.
Basically, all the rest of my siblings were growing up and getting real jobs, and I had to figure out some other losers that I could keep playing with. So
it hasn't worked out too well, unfortunately. That's too bad.
But I played with a Seattle-based band called North Country, too, for a few years.
Well, I was born down in the Southland.
That 2 or 3 years or something, and then I did the Modern Tradition thing after that.
Yeah, and then you started kind of diving into your solo stuff. Back in 2022, you put out the self-titled album, still bluegrassy vibes to it.
Yeah, I would think of that as like a bunch of country songs mostly, but cut, with bluegrass instruments, all acoustic.
Yeah, definitely. But then this year, it seems like it was a big shift for you. Sounds like the radio dropped.
'Cause it sounds like the radio back in 94, hook a speaker up to my soul. It sounds like the radio.
So what kind of led to this? When I hear your sound, it's such a throwback to the country stuff that I would have heard on the radio as a kid. I'm a bit older than you. I'm 33 or 27, I think.
Yes, sir.
So you're playing beyond your years, it feels like, with some of the sound. How did this come to be, and why did you decide to full pursue the country?
Hello, everyone. Nick Major here with the Spout Podcast. Hope you are liking the chat with Zach Top. But really quick, I wanted to talk with you about HERS. That's HERS, because a hot topic that is all over right now are these weight loss drugs and GLP-1s. Celebrities left and right, they are taking off pounds, but you don't have to be rich or famous to get those same medications. And losing weight, it can be hard, but creating a plan that's tailored to you is key. So if you need some extra help, it's time to check out HERS. HERS is changing women's healthcare by providing access to GLP-1 weekly injections, as well as oral medication kits with the same active ingredients as Ozempic, which is a name that I know we have all been hearing a lot lately. Hers connects you to a medical provider who will work with you to determine your best treatment options, and if prescribed, you get the medication as part of a doctor-developed weight loss program, complete with ongoing support, check-ins, medication adjustments, and answers to any questions that you may have at no additional cost, and your treatment ships directly to your front door. So start your free online visit today at forhers.com/spout. That's FORHERS, forhers.com/spout, SPOUT, for your personalized weight loss treatment options. forhers.com/spout. Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. And back to my chat with Zach Top.
That's always where my heart was.
Okay.
It was kind of, that was what I wanted to do. Like I said, the first song I ever asked to learn how to play when I was 5 years old, I walked in this teacher. So the teacher that we found, Marie Parks, happened to be, she was just big into the bluegrass world and the, old-time fiddle stuff, folky stuff. And so she kind of just steered me in that direction just because that's what she knew. And so it seemed like a good avenue. And also just... there's not many honky-tonk bars that'll let a 7-year-old get up and play a set. So that, I wasn't going to get on stage much there. And in the bluegrass thing, it's kind of family-friendly, all ages type of thing. And so it kind of afforded me the opportunity to start getting on stage behind a microphone in front of a bunch of people a lot earlier than, if I'd have just gone straight to country. So it just kind of happened to be the route that I went, but always was, I was playing Amarillo by Morning in the first show we ever played. We were doing country songs just with bluegrass instruments mixed in with the bluegrass stuff. So that was where my heart always was, though. So it was kind of like once like you said, I started working with Carson, and that was kind of my foot in the door in Nashville, that it felt like, oh dang, if this guy's thinks I got something, then maybe I do, and so let's go ahead and try and make it happen. Mm-hmm. And it was a pretty natural progression for me. Just, I think if you didn't listen to the music, that I recorded, as time went on, it kept leaning more and more and more country. And then, like you said, this year,
now we're
just
here.
Go ahead and, throw the drums and the telly and the steel on it, and, just quit hiding.
Yeah, some cold beer and country music.
Yes, sir.
That's right. So how's it feel to have that out? I'm sure that feels great. I know you've been working on these songs for quite a while.
Oh, yeah, man. It's funny. I think the oldest song on there is like 4 or 5 years old or something. Wow. Lonely for Long, I think, was one of the first things we wrote when I started coming to Nashville.
You won't be lonely for long if he should ever do you wrong.
I've been chomping at the bit for a long time, but Carson always told me it's more important to make wait longer and make the right first impression, because second chances are hard to come by in the music business. If you botch that first impression, then it can be a long time coming back around to get a second one. So I think that was good advice, and I got some other good people around me too that kind of all came together and felt like it was finally, all right, people are hungry for this kind of music. And if you think about, 5 years ago, if I'd have put this record out, I don't think it would have worked. At least not like it is now.
No, because country's at such an interesting spot right now, too. I'm seeing it worked into so many different genres and worked in so many different variations. And you yourself, you're bringing kind of a fresh twist to the current state of country with stuff. So what is it like to be a country artist in 2024?
I mean, for me, I'm just happy that people are loving what I'm doing. I think country's always been kind of cyclical. It's, when George Strait and Randy Travis came out, the stuff that was popular right before them was like Kenny Rogers.
You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, and know when to run.
And Juice Newton.
Just call me angel of the morning, angel. Just touch my cheek before you leave me, baby.
And Crystal Gale. seems countryish now, but it was like straight pop music back then. So it was like, they heard the same stuff. Whatever I get, the thing where it's like, oh, bringing real country back or something. And that was the same thing for George Strait and Randy Travis. They were, bringing it back from Kenny Rogers. And so it's it always comes in those waves. It's, we get to liking one sound and it starts getting watered down and everything starts sounding the same, and somebody's got to break out and do something different and do something fresh. Like Florida Georgia Line was a great example of that.
That is.
Baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise down a back road, blowing stop signs through the middle every little farm town with you.
They were a revolution in country music in whatever was 2010-ish. And then everything kind of started following that. The more, 808 trap beats, mixed in with the country lyrics or whatever. And I feel like that's where we've been for the last 15 years. And that's about how long the cycle takes. And now people are like, okay, we need something to break out of that now. And so I feel like I just ended up in the right time, right place to, kind of swing that pendulum back the other way.
Mm-hmm. That's exciting. And
yeah.
Are you left-handed?
I am.
Did you play the guitar right-handed?
Yeah, I play guitar right-handed.
So how did that happen? Because I'm left-handed as well.
Yeah, that's a good question. My parents didn't know it made a difference when they bought me a little Walmart first act guitar when I was 3, and they didn't know it made a difference, and I didn't either. So I spent the first 2 years not knowing anything, just banging around on it backwards. First day I walked into lessons, the teacher flipped it around and said, "Let's try it this way." And I said, "Okay, if you say so." It's been that way ever since I was 5.
Is that how do you play it right-handed?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Wait, will you try to shake my hand with your left hand?
Yeah.
Wait, does it feel...
It feels strange
It
because
feels
nobody
strange,
does it,
I
but
know.
it's good for me.
We've been conditioned not to
Yeah,
shake our
exactly.
hand this way. So I know you did homeschooling and stuff,
Yeah.
but one of my most traumatizing childhood experiences is just writing at school and constantly smearing my work with the left hand.
Yeah.
Did you have any cheats? You'd cover the paper with it. Did you ever do that one?
No, I think I just smudged everything everywhere. My
silver
mom always
hand.
gave me, yeah, exactly. Get all that pencil lead on your hand, yeah. Let alone don't try to write with a dang ink pen or something.
No, you'll smear that. You can't erase that and
exactly.
fix it. But that's
exactly.
interesting that you've been able to learn to play right-handed on the guitar. And I guess that's the
Yeah.
only way you know.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I probably could have been taught to be right-handed in a lot of things if they'd have made me that early, but
They got you with guitar.
yeah, exactly. They got me with guitar.
So what do you got coming up next? What are you working on, cooking up? I know it's been a big year for you. I think that album dropped back in April. Mm-hmm. But what's coming up for the rest of this year and on to 2025 for you that you can speak about?
Yeah. Rest of this year, we've got a handful, I think 15 or 16 shows left with Lainey. Lainey Wilson, so those have been great. We've been on that tour since beginning of June, and
I'm sure that's been amazing, by the way. Lainey
yeah,
Wilson, incredible.
phenomenal.
She has been killing it.
Yeah, it feels like about the hottest thing in country music right now.
I got a heart like a truck. It's been drugged through the mud. Runs on dreams and gasoline. And that old highway holds a key.
So feel very, very fortunate, very blessed to be part of that tour. So we'll finish that out. That'll finish up kind of middle of November. And then we've got some, a handful of shows left kind of end of December end of November into December, some NFR stuff that always happens down in Vegas in December. And then we get a little break, and then we got playing with old Post Malone.
I've heard of that guy before. I think
new
he's gonna
country
do good
artist of the
things.
year or something.
He is a new country artist. That's the way you can put it.
Yeah.
I had some help. It ain't like I can make this kind of mess all by myself. Don't act like you ain't helped me pull that bottle off the shelf.
No, yeah, we'll be out with him December 30 down in, it's like New Year's Eve show, I guess.
That's gonna be sick.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be interesting experience. I'm excited. That'll be first stadium we play, so that'll be fun.
Hello. It is again I, Nick Major, here with the Spout Podcast, and today's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. So this month it's all about gratitude. So I got to give a shout out to my therapist who has really helped me become, honestly, the best version of me. I started going to therapy a few years back after holding off for far too long for going to it, and I'm so happy that I finally went and did it because both personally and professionally, therapy has proven time and time again to be such a good place for me, for example, to set goals and follow through with them. And life can be hectic. We are all going through our own things. So having an open conversation with just someone else, a trained professional, you'll be shocked at how much just talking with someone helps you, because sometimes there are topics that we don't want to talk with friends or with family about, and that is okay. But don't just bottle it up because of that, because in that case you are only hurting yourself. And we all got to be the best versions of ourselves. We owe it to ourselves. We really do. You really do. And BetterHelp makes it so easy. You don't even need to leave your house. You answer some questions. They'll match you with a therapist that fits your needs. If the fit isn't right, they make it easy to change to another one. And I love that, because having the right therapist is so important. So let that gratitude flow in your life with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/SpoutPod today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/SpoutPod.
Outside of that, we got our first big, we just announced last week, I guess, first big tour of our own next spring. Announced the first leg of that and sold it out in a day, so really excited about that. And then the next leg will get announced here in a couple weeks. So, yeah, that's kind of the big news for next spring. And then we're going out with Dierks Bentley as direct support next summer.
I'm getting drunk on a plane. Buying drinks for everybody but the pilot. It's a party. Got this 737 rocking like a G6.
And then we'll probably put together another little headline and run in the fall.
So you're doing the thing. You're just full on busy,
Trying.
going around.
Yo, busy is
You're
an
playing
understatement.
shows bigger now than the entire population, I feel like, of the city that you're from.
That's true. Yeah.
So that's
Some of
wild.
them. That is kind of funny. I'd never thought about that
gotta
before.
feel pretty
that's
good.
That's a funny, little perspective to put it in.
So this
that's
past
cool.
year, this past 12 months has been pretty wild for you. Because I
Yeah.
first heard Sounds Like the Radio. I mean, I heard that and I was like, okay, this thing's a bop. This thing sounds great.
Appreciate
so how
it.
did it feel once you started to put stuff out that people now, I'm guessing, know every damn word of these as you go up and hit the stage?
It's wild, man. It felt like a switch flipped somewhere in like March or something, even before the record came out, because we'd been playing all the stuff on the record at the live shows for a while. So like people were starting to know some of the songs before they were even out. But it was switch kind of flipped where we were playing like 200, 300 cap rooms and like hoping maybe 100 or 150 people show up to make it feel full enough. And then all of a sudden, everything started selling out in advance, and we showing up knowing we're playing to a full room, and rooms just kept getting bigger and bigger. And then, once that record dropped, and especially, I Never Lie has kind of been the thing off the record that's really poked its head up that,
Such
people
a
just...
good track, by the way.
Thank
Such
you.
a good just country
Appreciate
song.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I sleep like a baby. I never show up late for work. I don't drink whiskey. I don't know how it feels to hurt.
It's funny. That wouldn't have been... That's from me, either favorite or second favorite song on the record. For
Easy.
me...
Oh, yeah,
but
for you,
I
cool.
wasn't expecting that to be the one that would, kind of take off and be the hit, so to speak, off the thing.
You're
so
happy
it's cool.
about that, though, because it's a song that you love a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like you said, it's as country as anything on the album, and a ballad, and so the fact that people just, when we hit those first two little people just lose it and stuff. So it's kind of, it's been a wild shift to just see that going from playing 3-hour sets in bars and having to play covers to keep people interested to now they want to come out and they want to hear my songs.
The original stuff. And the cool thing is that if you have a song that pops off or something, you have such a catalog now. Like with the full album that you put out, that without question, it's a full set. People aren't just coming to watch one song.
Yeah.
There's a whole on set that you're putting on.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's really fun. It does feel like people that buy tickets for our shows, they know every word to every song. It's not just, Sounds Like the Radio and I Never Lie and Bad Luck. They know every one of them. So that's been fun, and just cool to. It gives me goosebumps every night seeing people sing along them songs back to me.
Mm-hmm. So when you're not on the road, even though it's been a busy year on the road of writing and stuff, what's some stuff that you like to get up to in the downtime? You got any hobbies or anything you like to do?
Golf is the main way I try to keep my blood pressure up. I do play a good bit of golf.
You good at it?
I'm decent. It comes and it goes, but yeah, I'm okay.
I'm more of a mini golf kind of guy.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
okay.
good too. I love that.
But
Makes for a
you'll
great
get to
day.
actually, you were just in Reno. There's some great golfing up there because they do the
Oh, yeah.
PGA Tour up
Oh,
in the
yeah.
Tahoe area and down
Yep.
in Montreux. That's
Yep.
another area.
Yeah,
and
man.
I've always grown up having those near me in Reno when I was
Yeah,
there.
man.
And the older I've gotten, the more fascinating I've found golf. I used to think it
Yeah.
was like so boring,
Yeah.
but now I'm like,
That was me
that's
too when
actually
I was a
so
kid.
interesting and cool to watch.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're really good at what they do.
Yeah, it's wild. It's such a hard game. It's so frustrating and so addictive, and it is maybe just hitting a golf ball flush may be a worse drug than heroin. I don't know. It feels about that way.
I've never done either, but I'll take your word for both.
Yeah, I've only done the one a couple
Heroin.
of times. Yeah,
And-
exactly. And I have yet to hit a golf ball flush. No.
So what is it about country music that you love so much and that you think, I guess, resonates with people so much, the angle that you're taking of it? But what is it that you love so much about country music?
The stories is a big thing that
Which I think does stand it apart from any other genre. I will
Exactly.
say the storytelling in country songs is when you listen to it, you can see it.
Yeah.
As the story's being told.
Yeah, that's when I think of a good song. That's like there's a lot of like hit songs that are fun to listen to, and in the pop world and rock and whatnot. But they usually don't say as much as a really good country song. When I think of a good song, it's like you said, as the words are being sung to you, the picture paints itself in your head, and you like puts you in that world. So that's a big thing, just the songwriting of it. I'm a nerd about that and have tried to be a student of that and try to, become somewhat proficient at it myself. But outside of that too, it goes right along with it, I think, that storytelling, that there's kind of, in country music, there's something for everybody. Like when I hear a good country record, it feels like it needs to cover the whole range of like the human condition kind of. And so we tried to do that with this first record, that there's something on there for everybody, no matter like what point in life they're at, and it can make them feel a little bit understood and seen. You got your love songs and your heartbreak songs and your, throw your beer up in there and stomp your boot party songs, and, kind of just covers the gambit, I guess. And I like that too, because that's when I'm going to go listen to other music, other country music. That's like, I've got my songs that are like, if I'm feeling down today, I know what 5 or 6 songs I'm going to crank up, on my drive into town or whatever it is.
To pick you up or bring you down even
Yeah,
more,
exactly.
depending on
If
how you
I'm
wanna
getting
feel.
ready to go out and have a ball on a Friday night, I've got my songs I need to hear for that
Yeah.
too. And it kind of just, there's something for everybody in it, and
Uh-huh.
I think I really like that a lot.
Yeah,
About country.
you're obviously a guy that likes beer as well. I mean,
Yeah, of course.
I think I saw you pour a can of beer into a bowl of Cheerios.
Yeah, I have been known to do that.
Don't try this at home. This may be a new way of life.
So what is your go-to beer? You got a favorite?
Yeah, Coors Banquet.
Okay, Coors Banquet.
Yes, sir.
Easy, quick enough.
Yeah, my dad, when I was growing up, it was Coors Light for him, pretty much, until
as well.
he kind of evolved his taste. Now he likes nicer beers, craft beers and stuff like that. But back when I remember growing up, that was probably the first sip of beer I ever had. I can't remember, won't say how old I was.
I was
but
going to say, do you know, you were 21 and it was great.
Yeah, exactly. I loved it.
It was awesome.
But no, it was always Coors Light for him, and for whatever reason, I kind of gravitated toward the Coors Banquet. It's been that way since I, really, well, at least legally started drinking beer. Coors Banquet's been my favorite.
So we know that Coors Banquet is on your rider for every
Oh, yeah.
show. You
Oh,
need that
yeah.
in there. So Zach
That's
Top,
right.
thank you for chatting cold beer and country music.
That's
And
what it's all about.
Yeah, you're on the road. You're just killing it. And thank you so
Thanks,
much
man.
for chatting on the Spout Podcast today. Enjoy your time out here, and I
sir.
appreciate it. Take
Thanks,
it easy,
man. Yeah, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Of course.
All right, and that was my chat with country star Zach Top. Don't forget to check out his album, Cold Beer and Country Music. It is filled with some good old country music and some cold beer. If you are drinking a cold beer while you listen to it, then that is how you will do that. As I have said so many times lately, we are in a golden age of country music. Even I have chatted with quite a few country artists lately, so seeing what each of them brings to the genre is rad, and that nostalgic 90s vibe that Zach Top is giving us is awesome. So in case you are new here or you've missed out some recent episodes, don't forget that we have new episodes of the Spout Podcast every week. So hit that subscribe button or follow us, turn on those notifications so you never miss an episode, and leave a comment below. Would love that. I'll respond to you if you leave a comment below on this. So last week, our very own Tamara Dia, she sat down with Gwen Stefani, and you can catch that full episode out now.
Is there ever going to be new No Doubt music?
You know what? Like, you never know what's going to happen next. This is crazy right here.
And the week before, Eric Zachary sat down with another name taking over the country world, Jelly Roll.
I can't think of anything besides songs I've wrote I'm more proud of that we've done.
Do you get not upset, it's not the right word, but a little bummed when people experience it through TikTok ahead of time as opposed to in person for the first time?
Listen, I seen every minute of the Taylor Swift tour on TikTok, and it was still fire when I went. You know what I'm saying?
You can catch both of these and plenty more with the biggest names all in the Spout Podcast, where famous people spout off about more than what they are famous for. I am once again Nick Major. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time.